Welcome to DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next. The Alumni podcast where you get to hear the inspiring stories and transformation that DVC has had to offer its alumni. And now, on with the episode.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
And we are live here at DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next. And we have the wonderful Anahita, which we've been trying to get this coordinated for about a year, I think. And you're a busy person. So let's start with you introducing yourself.
Well, hi, I'm Anahita of Savar. I'm 19. I'm a business administration major, and I'm originally from Iran. I came here almost 3.5 years ago, almost 4. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, cool. Well, and we're excited to have you here. Well, I'm excited to have you here. And I know you're extremely involved in the DVC community. Mm-hmm. I mean that in a million different ways. It's not just, you don't just show up and go to school, which I think is an important thing. So let's back up and let's get you first to the United States and then to DVC. So you grew up in Iran, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what was that like?
Well, growing up in Iran, all my family is in Iran. Iran is a really beautiful place. You have rich culture, rich food, amazing food, actually.
Yes.
And
and I think Americans, for the most part, have a rather two-dimensional view of Iran. And it's like, I think it's better for us to talk about it like it's Persia, which all of a sudden, we're talking now thousands and thousands of years of history. But
yes. It says like a rich culture, and the food, the history is great. It's Persia. It's great history. But the reason it made me come here is because of the current government. Iran is a really beautiful place. It has all 4 seasons, which is really nice. Yeah, you get to experience the spring, summer, fall, and winter. It snows in my country, Tehran. So, and then it's a really good place to be if the government was not the way that it is. And because of the government and then not that much women rights.
Like any?
Like almost none. Almost to 0. And the economy being so bad, it just kept going, like the Toman, which is our money's value, it kept going down, down, down. And so it made us want to come to America. And especially after the protests that happened in 2022, they were like, we should come to America. And then we came, and then I started with going to junior year of high school right here in Walnut Creek.
What high school?
Northgate High School.
Great, very good high school.
High school.
I went to YV, and we hated you because you took all our good football players. So,
well, I know that there's beef between Las Lomas and Northgate.
Oh, well, now, yes, yeah,
there's a lot of beef, but I wasn't as involved in junior year because the English wasn't good, and then it's like a whole different thing. You just come from this completely different world to another different world.
So talk about that a little bit, because that's part of the reason I'm so interested in this is because I think, again, as most of us who grew up here, it's like we take for granted a number of things. I mean, first of all, first you got talk about culture shock, right? It's like you got that part of it, and then on top of that, you're thrown into a language that you were, to say, unfamiliar with is probably an understatement. So
yeah, So for English-wise, I learned English in Iran, but when I went to the high school here, junior year, the English accent was the part that was getting me, or the way that I was dressing, or the way that you want to fit in. That was like the hard part of it. The accent part was the part I was getting bullied for, and then just
really,
yeah, okay. It was. Yeah, I had to fix my accent, so I know I had to fix it. So
you don't have any accent at all.
Thank you.
No, seriously. I mean, you sound like one of us natives. So
okay, that's good.
You worked really hard at it then.
I did. That was the goal. So when somebody bullied me about my accent, I was like, oh, I need to change it. So I don't know. Like I started with TV shows, super, super basic. I started with TV shows and then repeating what that person in the TV show is saying and try to sound like just like her. That's why I have more of a valley kind of accent.
So what was your favorite TV show to do that with?
I think the first TV show I started with was The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, okay. So I think one of my kids my youngest one was really into that. And was it what's the one that was in New Orleans? There was another show like
Originals?
That. No, it was, anyways, doesn't matter. But it's like, and it's amazing that you say that because I know back like in the 70s, there was a number of people that came from the Eastern Bloc and defected to the United States and they had like zero support here, which sounds like you at least had like family to stay with.
Yeah. Me and my parents came in here. We were supposed to go to North Carolina first. We wanted to go there first because everything was cheaper, especially with somebody that wants to transfer money was way better for us. But we had nobody. So we had nobody. So we were like, oh, okay. But whatever you're trying to do, try to buy a car, want to rent a house, you need like proof of residency. So we had to, after like, I think a week or two, we were like, oh, we should come to California. So we came to California and then my aunt lives here. That's the only family member that we have here. So then we stay at my aunt's house for almost a month and a half to find a house. And then we're like struggling with like finding a house, finding a car. It was so chaotic, especially while we were searching for a house, I had to start school and then like adapt with the school. And then I remember when I was choosing my courses, my dad really wanted me to take like high level courses. And I'm like, I just got here. I can't do that. So they enrolled me in APUSH, the AP US history.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So AP classes. And I was totally unaware because how hard it would be, especially English and then like everything. So, cause in Iran, I had like decent like grades and I was really good in math. I love math. I still do. And so my dad had like high hopes of me and then put me in this like hard classes like, oh, I'm gonna like fail without realizing it. So APUSH was like the most hard class I've ever taken. And especially because APUSH needed some summer homework. You had to do 6 chapters yourself during summer. And so I started in fall, so I had to do all of them at once. And then English was really hard to read, understand it, or during classes. I need to have like a really good professor who would like articulate every word so I could understand, or else it would be so hard to understand.
Well, I thought back. So when this is going back, I think I was about 18 years old. I was living for a while. I was working in Florida and I started working with this guy. He's German and he's about 30 years old and he learned English at Oxford. Okay. So he learned really proper English. He found me unbelievably confusing to talk to because I'm from California. I'm speaking, it's kind of like not quite surf, but it was like, and he found that tough. And I know that, like I've had interns, I had an intern from France when I was a chamber guy and, she was, just graduated high school and she'd taken the 4 years of English, just like we take 4 years of Spanish here, but had never been immersed in it. And so is that kind of like the deal that you were walking into?
Yeah, something close to that. Yes.
Yeah. So it must have been quite the challenge. It's like you're getting dumped into these AP classes and you're still trying to catch up with, what did you say?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up, write it down. And like you had to read. The reading portion was like the most hard part of it. Like the APUSH book was this much and you had to read every chapter, I think. So that was the most hard part of it, APUSH. And then I was struggling through APUSH a lot. Everybody could see it in my class. I was like struggling. So, and then the good thing about it is that for APUSH, it was really hard to pass the class, which I didn't. I failed a class for the first time in my life. So I failed APUSH.
I think we can give you a pass on that one. So it just...
Well, I think
I think there's
That way too.
extenuating circumstances, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so I failed it, but I passed the test, the AP test.
Okay.
So I have the AP score. I have the AP credit, which is great.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to take history, but I'm happy about it. So it was mostly about the reason I failed the class was about the tests, and the tests required you to read an excerpt and then answer some multiple questions. And the excerpt was the part I didn't understand, so I would struggle. And then, but the APUSH test, like the actual AP test, there were multiple choice, which I'm sure I failed that, but there was also essays.
Oh.
So, but for the essays, I had like, I knew I had the knowledge. It was just like hard to understand it. So when the essay came in, I finished the essay, I think, in like super quick. I was the first one to finish the essay because I had the knowledge in my head. I could write it in my own words and like language, you know? So it was easier. So I finished it. And I think the essays portion was the part that made me pass the test.
Okay.
So I'm really happy about it. I was like, nobody believed that I could pass a AP test for APUSH, but I did.
So, well, and congratulations. I mean, that's amazing because, especially like I said, you got dumped into the deep end of the pool. You know, I mean, I don't do other languages mostly because I'm not that bright. But well, and I do know also is that learning a new language to actually learn it, it's more about immersion. You know, being in with it. So I've got all three of my kids have taken high school Spanish. One of them worked in restaurants for a long time, so he got to know all the people in the back, the rest, the cooks who all speak Spanish. So he could speak Spanish. He still can speak Spanish quite well. I mean, it's kitchen Spanish, so it's kind of, it's not grammatically correct or anything that even resembles, you know, something you would write on a board.
Right.
But he can communicate quite well to where it's like, you know, we'd have folks come over and do work around our house, and my now ex and I didn't have, you know, a lick of English or Spanish, and somebody show up so he would come out and translate for us and say, okay, we want to do this and this and this, and we were golden. But again, it's that immersion piece because he was, you know, hanging out.
Yeah, you need to be in that environment.
Yeah, so I'm very impressed because the way you speak, it's like you grew up with it. So it just
I'm good. That was a goal.
Yeah, well, yeah, you've done quite well with it. So you get through high school finally.
Yeah, I got through high school. The junior year was like a nightmare because that academically, you know, also wouldn't socialize. I didn't know how to socialize because in Iran, everybody's in their own box, and then we have like the girls and the guys are separated like school wise. So there's girls' schools and then there's boys' schools. So then here it's like all of them are mixed together and everything is just so different. So I wasn't socializing as much. But then senior year came and I was like a little bit more social. So that like helped me to find more friends. So the senior year was way better than like the junior year. And then senior year came. I did two more AP courses. I passed them, thank God.
Okay.
I passed, and it was AP Gov, AP Econ, and AP Statistics. I aced statistics so well. I loved it.
So I got to hand it to you. I mean, it's like you're walking in cold with no language, and you're passing AP classes. That's pretty gangster. That's pretty, yeah. I mean, it's like, I'm like, wow. Okay. So you pass those classes and at this point, what were you looking at as far as your next step? I mean, you ended up here somehow, but so what did that look like?
So I applied to UCs and CSUs. I got into UC Santa Cruz and some other CSUs I forgot the name of, but I want to go to Santa Cruz. I was like, okay, so I'll just go here. It's one of the UCs that I got in, so I'm just gonna go. But then we started thinking about like DVC and how it's more affordable and how there's a tag program. So I started searching and was like, oh, I want to go to DVC. So, and then because even though UCLA and UC Berkeley and UC San Diego don't participate in tag, Davis does. So I was like, oh, I can just, if I fail college. So I'm like, I don't know. I can still have the chance to go to Davis, you know, because Berkeley's Haas is really hard to get into.
Yeah, everybody wants in.
Yes, 5% accepted. So I was like, I can go to Davis. That's better than Santa Cruz. So that's made me want to come here.
Okay. You should, for business schools, you should also think about San Jose State. We have some foundation supporters who they hire almost exclusively out of San Jose State because they like the quality of business schools graduates that they get. So it's something to think about, you know. And in 10 years, nobody cares what school you went to.
That's true. It is mostly important if you into the job force.
Yeah.
Did you make it? Yeah. That's all that matters. But yeah. Berkeley works well because my other job is in Piedmont. Oh. And then I don't have to pay rent. So yeah. It's like, it works perfectly.
Okay.
You know, and it's a good school, obviously. So it's just like a 10 out of 10 situation. I can go with BART, no rent. It's just easy.
Well, yeah, my oldest one, she did 2 years at Berkeley. Mm-hmm. She did 2.5 years here only because the program she wanted into was impacted. So she had to wait 6 months to go into that. But she did her, you know, her general ed stuff here. So good choice, you know. Yeah. So okay. So you decided to go to DVC. Mm-hmm. What was that like, kind of getting here and getting your feet under you? You've already learned how to swim in the deep end, just getting thrown into something, you know, from alien cultures and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DVC, I would say DVC was, when I came to DVC, I thought, oh, it's going to be something like Northgate or like, you know, but it wasn't. It was the absolute opposite. And I'm actually really happy about it because at Northgate, I was like my mindset wasn't matching with anybody. Everybody was in their own like high school mindset. And then it's like, you know, I was like, oh, like we can't click. Like the thing that I experienced or I believe in, like some people can't even understand that. So it was like crazy. But then when I came here, it was the absolute opposite. And I was like, oh, I actually want to like socialize even more. I want to put myself out there. I don't want to become how I was in high school here. So it was like, I'm going to socialize. I'm going to join clubs. I did join clubs. I joined a lot of clubs.
Yes, you did.
And I made a lot of friends. It turned completely like the opposite way of high school. And I love it. It's just because I've pushed myself to talk to people and put myself out there. I think that what made it into a more fun experience than high school.
So one of the things is, and I kind of want to talk about this a little bit because I know you're part of the student veterans, you're part of the, you know, PBL, you're part of the fill in the blank, you know, I mean, like 147 different clubs. I don't even think there's that many clubs. But I think one of the things is that you've really embraced being here, and probably partly because I was thinking about it as you were talking, is that this isn't high school.
Yeah.
This is, you get a chance to be who you are as opposed to having to fit into this clique or this clique or this clique.
Exactly. I could be who I want, not just like high school rated, but also in Iran. Everybody grows up in their own box or just like, it's like certain rules, but then you don't have a voice, but then that here I can do whatever I want. Not technically whatever, but I can do a lot more I could do in Iran. I have more rights, I have more freedom. So it's just like motivates me to like do more. And that's why I joined ASDVC. And that's why I want to go to DC. So I think, yeah, it's just I think the reason that I'm like really passionate about doing something and doing even more and more is because of my experiences in Iran. It's just like, because I didn't have any rights, kind of. And then like now here, I can do whatever I want. So it feels nice. It just pushes me, motivates me to do more.
That must be a very interesting contrast because you went from basically where you're allowed to have air. Right?
Right.
Yeah, you get air and then the rest of it will kind of work on, you know, it's like, well, maybe water and maybe tea or coffee. But I mean, that's really, I mean, it's a very oppressive environment and you're here. And I know some people, when they kind of get let out of the box, so to say, they kind of go crazy. And instead you've taken that as kind of you've channeled that energy into really exploring not only who you are, but also where you can make a difference.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about some of that. So we talked briefly about the millions of clubs that you're involved in. What was the first club that you got involved with?
I joined the first club was either International Students Club or AGS.
Okay.
That was the first clubs I joined with my friend pushing me to joining him. And I joined it. Then I was like, oh, there's a business club, PBL. So I was like, oh, I need to go to the business club. So I stopped going to the internationals one. Then I went to the business one, a PBL, and I loved it. They were all like professionals, like have suits. It's like the only club that they wear suits to the general meeting. So I was like, oh, that's really fun. I want to do that. I want to be them. The executive board. So I joined PBL, and then I joined Toastmasters. I ran for officer position in PBL, but I didn't get any. But I ran for it for Toastmaster. I got the marketing position. And then I think then the next semester I was part of AGS, was part of Toastmasters, and was part of PBL. What else was I part of?
That's 3.
That's 3.
When that was after you dropped out of international because you didn't want to overextend yourself.
It wasn't working. It was like the time also wasn't working for me. So I had to drop that out. And then I joined SVA.
Yeah.
They wanted an ICC representative. So I joined it. Then that made me join ICC. Then after that, we did TEDx. I don't know if that...
We're going to get to that in a minute because this I find it very exciting. So let's keep talking about clubs and then we'll get to TEDx.
Okay. And then clubs, and then joined ICC, which is the Interclub Council. And then I ran for a position, which was the activities, commissioner of activities, which is in charge of club day. So I did that. I got the position. And then I didn't want to do more. So I joined ASDVC, which is our student government. I joined the Dreamers Club, and I joined the Student Justice for Palestine. I joined all that clubs. And then the ASDVC was just like where I could just do more and more. So I join like the committees, the legislative committee. And then I'm one of the members for the PRC committee.
Okay.
The college one. Yeah.
So I lost track, but I think there's about 6 or 7 clubs. Yeah. And on top of that, you're also carrying how many units for school? Your education, which you're actually supposed to be here for.
Which semester?
Well, okay, let's talk about this semester.
This semester, I'm taking 15, I think.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. But 2 of the classes, because it's like the end of the semester, I don't need that much classes. So I'm just taking classes that I know I would need while like want to go to workforce, like MySQL, like tools, MySQL and QuickBooks, because I want to major in accounting. So I took those because I know they'll benefit me, and then the classes I need.
Okay. Okay. So so out of all those, I'm not going to ask this question because you'll irritate somebody. I was going to say, what's your favorite club? But we won't do that. So you actually had to get pushed into joining a club.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, again, it's like you're kind of still, even after a couple of years of being in high school, it's like you get here and it's like it's not high school. Mm-hmm. And it's still, you're, a stranger to a strange land type thing. And it's just, you're kind of like going, this campus is a lot bigger than Northgate. I know it is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And there's, I think right now we run between full-time and part-time about 30 or 40,000 students between here and San Ramon. Oh. So yeah. Well, that's also in line and stuff like that. Right. But so it's a big footprint. It's a lot of folks. And it's like, so you went from kind of like, okay, I think I can figure this out to, oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see where you would get pushed into that. And so then once you kind of ate it up with a spoon, once you kind of got to that, you really got immersed in it. So what we're going to talk, we're going to wrap up with TEDx because I think it's very exciting. So, but we're not getting there yet. We're almost there. So your career path. What does your career path look like? What do you think it does? Now, it'll change 5 times, by the way. I just want to let you know, I'm on my 4th or 5th career, and I'll let you know what I want to be when I grow up. But what is your, like, in a perfect world, what does your career path look like?
Like for future?
Yeah.
I really wanted to be a CFO of a company. That was like a basic goal. I was like, I want to be a CFO of a company, but I still want to be that. But now I'm concentrated in like accounting and finance for business. And so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And my first job was in Current Transfer Center.
Transfer Center. Okay.
Yeah, that was like my first job. And then I got that job, and I got this job, which I am right now. And so,
where are you at now?
I'm at the City of Piedmont.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, as an accounting clerk.
Oh, man. So you get to really see the nuts and bolts of what it's like. I mean, most people don't think of cities as being, it's like, oh, that's boring. It's like, no, cities are very interesting. And
no, they're really interesting. I work for the fire department specifically.
Oh, wow.
And it's really fun. Like, I enjoy whatever I do. It's just not, I'm learning a lot more. Like, really, just not just accounting clerk stuff. I think I'm just learning something beyond that as well. Like the firefighter lives, or just whatever the firefighters do. I also do that. And it's just so fun to be around them in general. And then I get to see cool engines. It's like the most fun part about it. But yeah, I really like that job.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
And I know even as a kid, I was always into, it's like, oh my gosh, fire engines, It's like, truth be told, I'm still that way. But it's just like all exciting. Oh, I get to go, but I can't look too obvious on it, because that would be weird.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So let's work our way back around. So TEDx. So we're going to talk about that now. So, so I know last year you guys came to me, and you brought Florence and I think a couple other people, and it was like, oh my gosh, we got, we need to figure out this TEDx thing. So first, explain what TEDx is in like, like a paragraph.
Okay.
That for the folks out there.
Okay, so TEDx is the X part is like TEDx and something else. It's somebody organizes, somebody does the application, and then if they get approved, they get the TEDx license, and they can organize their own TEDx, which normally it's either with a collaboration with a company or with a school, like TEDx DVC or like TEDx Northgate. Like, I'm sure Northgate can do it too. So that's pretty much you do you fill out the application. You'd be like, I want to collaborate with TEDx with the DVC, so TEDx DVC, and you choose your speakers, you choose your theme, you choose your topic, and the topics should like be more of an inspiring kind of like, yeah, it has to be like that. And you choose your speakers, and you it should be something that motivates your audience and inspires your audience, wants to do something, or teaches your audience something. And then we wanted to do something for our students, because normally TEDx is just for people who are actually like professionals, and then they know a lot about their stuff. So we're like, let's just do it for students, but they need to know about their stuff, right? So it was like, what if we just do it for students, but they talk about their own life and what they learned from it? So which makes them experts in their own thing, right? So for Toastmasters, we came up with this. I was in Toastmasters, right? So I think it was in November or December of 2024, like my first semester when I was Toastmasters. So we were like, we want to do something more. We want to like do this and do, because it's Toastmasters, a public speaking thing. So I wanted to do something more. And then I think it was Luis, and he was like, let's do, he was like, TEDx, let's do TEDx. And then he was like, do you want to be like the first to have the license? So do the application. I was like, sure. I didn't know what I was going with. I just said, sure. Okay. He was the president of Toastmasters. So like, and I was his officer. So I was like, yeah, sure. And
Sure, I'll do that.
yeah, I was like, yeah, sure. So I didn't know what I was getting into at all. So I did the application. And then I remember it was like, I think beginning of January, we got accepted. And then I got the license, and then and we're like, oh, what's happening? And so we started getting serious. We started like organizing it, finding a venue, finding speakers, interviewing those speakers. And it was like a team of like 5. And then I think from team of 5, we went to team of 2. It was me and Florence at some point. But we found the venue, we found the speakers only like 3 months. And then we did it on April 17th, I think. And then because TEDx has its own rules, you can't be affiliated with any other club, so we couldn't do it through Toastmasters, or we couldn't get money from there. So we came you for help to make our budget, and so and we came to you to help us, and then also Susan. So and then we did it. We found our speakers. We practiced with the speakers, and then we did TEDx and filmed it.
So you guys hadn't done this before. It was just kind of hey, let's do this.
Yeah, it was like, oh, let's do it. It's like we're making a new club. It's not It's not like a new club. It was so much stuff to do, and there was so much rules we had to follow. If it could be part of an organization, it would make our job way easier, because I could just like call or like email Renee and then be like, oh, I want this venue, I want this money. I can ask money from my STVC, but I couldn't do that, right? I can't do that. It has to be like a student-led thing. So like we were struggling, and then especially if you want PAC, it has to be like a long time. And so, I didn't know what I was getting into. So we did it, but realized that, there's so much things to do. So we divided the task, we did it, and we finally got over it. And then we did it really good.
You guys, I heard, unfortunately, I couldn't be there. I think I had a family thing I had to take care of, but I had people from here went, and they loved it.
That's good.
And it was amazing, and the fact that you guys had never done it before, this is one of those things you get to put on your resume and go, I've done this. Built it from scratch,
That's true. We did build it from scratch.
Yeah, which is a lot harder than like taking over a successful or even a failed program, because then you can see what worked and what didn't. And you guys were just...
That is true. It wasn't like just, the president of this club is like, you're the president of it. It wasn't like that. And it was my very first big thing that I was leading. Yeah. So it was like challenging, but also fun. Yeah. Stressful.
So we have TEDx coming again.
Yes.
When is it?
The TEDx is going to be on April 16th.
Okay.
This time from 5.
And tickets will be on sale shortly.
It'll be Yeah.
We got to finish working out the details and stuff like that. And we'll work with Chris on getting a QR code and all that good stuff put together. And have you guys had your speakers?
Yes. We interviewed our speakers. They're really good speakers.
This is April 16th, is that correct? Oh, good. Okay. Cool. So, and this will be out in probably about 2 weeks from when we're recording today, is the 27th of February. So we'll have this in. So we'll drop a link to it in the notes here. Hopefully that doesn't violate any rules.
I don't think so, no.
No. And so, so cool. I'm actually very excited. So I know that between that and we've got the conference coming up for PBL, which is you guys got that all nailed down. We haven't had a chance to chat about that because, but you guys really have a lot of stuff going. You're absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It's like, you tell me, I used to live in Iran. It's like, really? Tell us that story. And I know for you, it's just like, that's your life. But it's like, for some of us, it's like really, and I actually, remember all the history that came with Iran from when I was, up until, the mid 70s. It was like, it was just some place in the Middle East. And then all of a sudden it was no longer just a place in the Middle East.
Yeah, after the revolution.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. So we'll say good luck with that. And I know one of the things that interests me is you don't get to go back and visit your family until something changes.
Until we get our citizenship, which I think in 2 years we will.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, when we get our, because I have green card.
Okay.
So in 2 years, I will get my citizenship and then I could go visit, hopefully.
Okay. Well, and then you'll have residency here in California. So then you'll get better rates on all the colleges and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I already have.
Oh,
the
good.
residency. Yeah.
Okay.
For that, I'm good. But the fact that I want to go to Iran, it's like, it's not happening. We're like, we should get our citizenship first to be, sure and safe, and then go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, good luck and more to follow. And I'm actually very excited. So see where you end up.
I'm also excited.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for inviting me.
You bet.
Thank you for tuning in to DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next, the podcast for the DVC Alumni Association. You can contact us at alumni@dvc.edu with any comments, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our podcast.